This is your expressions unit test review, starting with problem number 1. Which expression below does not represent 343? So if I multiply each of these 4 multiplication problems, which one doesn't give me the final answer of 343? So 7 cubed is really 7 times 7 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. So we got to figure out what 49 times 7 is. 9 times 7 is 63, carry the 6, 7 times 4 is 28, 28 plus 6 is 34. So A will be 343, B will be 343, and so will C based off that information. So D is the only answer that will not give us 343. Number 2, it says simplify. You are supposed to apply the distributive property. The outside wants to be part of everything on the inside. So 12 times 3y, multiply your numbers, keep your letter. 12 times 3 is 36, keep our y, keep your plus sign, multiply 12 times x, and we get 12x. There's your final answer. Number 3, determine the value of the expression below. All we have to do is solve this problem following PEMDAS. Starting with parentheses, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 60 minus 3 squared plus 15. Next thing we're going to do is our exponents. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. 60 minus 9 is 51. 51 plus 15 will give us our final answer of A, 66. 4. Which set of expressions below are not equivalent? It's basically saying if we have a problem where we need to use the distributive property, which second expression isn't giving us the correct steps or correct answer. So 8 times 3x, that's what they're doing here. 8 times 7, that's what they're doing here. So that's a good option. B, 3 times 8x should give us 24x. Ugh. 3 times 7 is 21. Ugh. Neither of those are right. So this is the expression that is not equivalent. B. Number 5, Tristan's building a fence for a dog park with the dimensions shown below. Find the area of the rectangular dog park using the formula area equals base times height. We know that area is just length times width, so we need to multiply both of our numbers. And 12 times 8, hopefully we know that, is 96. So the answer was A. Number 6, determine the value of the expression below. Solve it. So what we have to do is solve the top and get a number, solve the bottom and get a number, and then simplify that. So 7 squared is 49. 49 minus 9 is 40. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 40 divided by 5 is 8. All right, matching the following equations to properties. So number 7, this is where I used an example about friends in the cafeteria. These 2 friends made it to the cafeteria on time today, but these 2 friends were the ones that made it on time tomorrow. Okay, when you're dealing with associating with different people, then we are working with the associative property. Okay, and since there are all addition signs in the middle, then the answer is going to be A, the associative property of addition. Number 8, 16 times 5 times 2 is the same thing as 2 times 5 times 16. All the same numbers are being used, but they're just being used in a different order. It's like driving to 3 different places and then going back to those 3 places the next day, but in a different order. When we have that, we're talking about the commutative property. Okay, and since there are multiplication signs in the middle, the answer is D. Number 9, if we start with a number and we end with that same number, its identity has not changed. So the answer is G. And last but not least, number 10. It looks like we are using the distributive property in this problem. It's showing us the steps over here on the right. Okay, so the distributive property is part E. Number 11, write the following expanded form in exponent form. All I needed to do was look and see how many 9s I had So 9 to the second power. Keep our multiplication sign and figure out how many 6s I had. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's our final answer. Number 12 says evaluate the expression if A equals 2 and B equals 7. So if I rewrite, replacing my letters with numbers, A is 2 and B is 7. And then I need to follow PEMDAS and find our answer. Okay. So 3 times 2 is 6. Keep your plus sign. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 6 is 34. We multiply by 3 on the outside. 34 times 3 is 102. All right, number 13. The cost of renting a bounce house is $75 plus $10 for each hour we use, or each hour of use. Which of the following expressions could represent the cost of renting a bounce house for each number of hours? All right, so no matter what, when this bounce house comes to your place and gets set up in the yard, we have to pay those $75. Okay, so the $75 are just by itself. Okay, but then the price goes up by $10 for every hour that stays in our yard. Okay, so the answer is C, because it shows me we paid $75 for it to be in the yard, but then if we keep it for 1 hour, we would do 10 times each, 10 times 1. If we kept it for 5 hours, we would do 10 times 5. Okay, so the number of hours and the 10 go together, plus those $75 we had to pay. 14, which two expressions are equivalent? So 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times x is 7x. I get 21 plus 3 is 24 and 24x. Those are not the same answers. 7 plus 3 plus x is the same thing as 7 plus 3 plus x. That is our correct option. All right, number 15. Alexis and her brother go to the sporting goods store to pick up gear for the football team. The number of footballs purchased is 6 less than twice the number of helmets purchased H. Write an expression to represent the number of footballs purchased. Okay, so in order for us to figure out the number of footballs we've purchased, we have to know how many helmets we have first, okay? And the key words that it gave us talking about the helmets are twice the number of helmets and then using the letter H for our variable. So when I say twice, I'm talking about multiplying by 2. So you had to write 2 times H to figure out how many helmets we have, and then to determine how many footballs we have to subtract 6 from this number. So 2H minus 6. That's all I was looking for. Number 16, list the terms in the expression shown below. 3x plus 2y plus 11. This is just asking, what are all of the pieces that make up this problem? The pieces are 3x, 2y, and 11. Number 17, simplify, aka we're going to solve following PEMDAS, parentheses first. 7 minus 4 is 3. So this turns into 8 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 2. Next, exponents. 8 squared. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 minus 6 times 3 plus 2. Multiplication is next. 6 times 3 is 18. So 64 minus 18 plus 12. Then you have to solve 64 minus 18. 36. And then 36 plus 12 gives us our final answer of 48. All right, number 18. Mr. Anderson writes the expression 10 plus 5r plus 2s on the board. Which of the following are the coefficients in the expression? Coefficients are the numbers that sit in front of our variables. Okay, the numbers in front of our letters. So I see a 5 in front of the letter R, and I see a 2 in front of the letter S, which means these two are our coefficients, which are options 2 and 3, which is letter D. All right, number 19, which of the following has the same value as the given expression? So we have to solve this problem and then find out which of these problems gives us the same answer. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. And we have to do 52 minus 36. 52 minus 36. 16. So letter A, 2 plus 3 is 5, 7 times 5 is 35, 35 minus 5 is 30. Nope, not the same number. B, 4 cubed, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64, 64 minus 30 is 34, 34 plus 2 is 36. That is not 16. C, 6 times 5 is 30, 30 minus 8 is 22, not 16. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 7 is 32. 32 divided by 2 is 16. That matches. Our answer is D. All right, number 20. The length of a rectangle can be represented by the expression 1/2 W plus 4, where W is the width. Which of the following is the best description of the length of the rectangle? All this problem is asking us is, hey, I gave you your math problem, and I need you to figure out which word form matches the best, okay? So you've got to know key words, like we should be multiplying 1/2 and W. We should be adding 4, okay? So options, letter A, the length is 4 more than, so that's good, that means we're adding 4, twice the width. Well, last time I checked, 2 and 1/2 were not the same number, so A's out. B, the length is 4 more than, which means we're adding 4, 1/2 the width. 1/2 width is right there. So the answer is B. C is incorrect because it says the length is 4 more than the width. They completely forgot about our 1/2. And D is not the answer because it says the length is half of the width. They forgot about our plus 4. So neither of these options kept everything we needed. That's it.